Thanks for watching. In the last video, we created our own function called myOwnFactorial function, and this function has one argument, which is an integer. So down here, when we use our function, we passed it the integer 3. So the integer 3 is something that we came up with ourselves and we have hard-coded. But instead of hard-coding it like this, we can ask the user to provide us with this integer. So the way we can ask the user to provide an input is like this. So I have used a function called input. So what it does is it will print onto the screen whatever you have typed here. So we have typed a prompt asking the user to provide an integer. So whatever the user types, once the user presses enter, whatever is typed gets passed to the variable x. So by default, the input is always assumed to be a string. So this x will be a string. So here, the 3, if we replace the 3 with an x, what we are doing is we are passing the function a string. So what we should see is when we run this code, we should get an error, which would be cannot find the factorial of a string. So let's see if we get this error. Okay, so we get the appropriate error message. So what we have to do is we actually have to convert the x from a string to an integer here. Okay, so I have used a function int, which will convert a string to an integer. So for example, if the user typed in the number 5, initially x is the string 5. So here we convert the string 5 to an integer 5. So now x is an integer. So when you use your function, you're actually passing to your function an integer. So if we use the code now, it should work. Okay, so we see it works. But let's see what happens if we run the code again. And what if I do not type in an integer? So let's say I type in 5.3. So you see, we have another error message because I typed in a float instead of an integer. So all of the exception handling that we have up here, it doesn't work. Okay, in this case, it's because the error occurred here. We attempted to convert a float into an integer, which you cannot do. So error message is due to this line. So we never actually reached our function. So we never even used our exception handling. So the way we have done the exception handling using this if-else statement doesn't work. So we have to try something else. So what we will do is use something called try except. And I'll teach you that in the next video. One last thing I want to show you right now is we can actually condense these 3 lines into one line. So you see here, x is all of this. So what I can do is copy this part and replace the x in here with that line. Okay, so now we can delete this line. And in line 14, we convert our string to an integer. So we can also do that in here. Okay, so we can get rid of this line. So if we run it, it should work. Okay, and it does. Okay, so in the next video, I will show you how to do the try except to do the better exception handling. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If so, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.